Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. You know, during the course of Princess Sofia's TV show, she's managed to make a lot of good friends, and also she's helped a few of them overcome a couple problems. For example, Sofia helped Vivian overcome her shyness, and she helped Desmond face his fears. However, we're going to look at an episode that takes place in Dunwich Village, where Sofia made friends with a then mischievous little witch. Airing on television on May 31st, 2013, this is The Little Witch. Now, in this episode, Princess Sofia meets a lonely young witch named Lucinda in the village of Dunwich, who is hexing the village children, including her closest friends, Ruby and Jade. Sofia attempts to correct Lucinda's behavior so that she can be invited to Jade's birthday party. So, what are my thoughts on this episode? Well, in my opinion, this was another good episode. And to further explain why I kind of like it, let's move on to Mustang notes. Now, the moral of this episode is, if you want to have friends, you need to be a friend yourself. Also, you need to make up for your mistakes and give others a second chance. As for the animation, well, to me, the CGI animation by Toei is still excellent, and I like the fact that this episode mainly takes place in the village of Dunwich, where Sofia used to live before she and her mom became royalty. Also, I kind of like that this episode is about a bully who's been hexing many of the children, including Jade. However, while I was watching it the first time back in 2013, I felt that there were a couple moments that were a tad mean-spirited. Now let's talk about the song featured in this episode, Good Little Witch. Now, there are two versions sung in this episode. One is a slow ballad version sung by Sofia while she teaches Lucinda about friendship, and also this song encourages Lucinda to make up for her mistakes. And then there's the second version, which just happens to be my favorite version, sung by Lucinda herself, where she undoes all of her hexes and becomes friends with the village children. I like this song mainly due to the sweet message, and I like the part where the children join in like a chorus. And now let's move on to the characters and the voice actors. Princess Sofia is again voiced by Ariel Winter, who voiced young Kyrie in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Marina in Jake and the Neverland Pirates, young Trixie in Speed Racer, Penny Peterson in DreamWorks Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and Smurf Lily in Smurfs The Lost Village. Now, this would have to be the very first episode to have Sofia as the only main character, and in my opinion, I like that Sofia tries to set a good example for everybody, as well as encouraging Lucinda to be a good witch and make friends with Ruby, Jade, and the other children. Also, I like the part where Sofia told Lucinda about the time when she became royalty overnight and that she felt very nervous and scared, but thankfully she got through with enough practice and help. Next we come to the episode's birthday girl, Jade, voiced by Isabella Akers, whom has been in Phineas and Ferb, Free Willy, Escape from Pirates Cove, and Abominable Christmas or Monster Christmas. In my opinion, Jade sticks out the most in this episode due to the fact that she's been hexed so much that she wants to get back at Lucinda, which could have made her unlikable, but fortunately, Jade genuinely feels sorry when she finds out that Lucinda was trying to make up for her mistakes. And I like that, in the end, Jade made amends with Lucinda and invited her to her birthday party. Next is Ruby Henshaw, voiced by Diamond White, whom has voiced Foolie in The Lion Guard. In my opinion, while she doesn't seem to stick out as much as Jade, I think Ruby is a sweet girl. Plus, during this episode, Ruby was a victim of Lucinda's hexing when her crayons melted into a blob. Finally, we come to the titular little witch, Lucinda, voiced by Merritt Layton, who got to voice in Spirit Writing Free Writing Academy, and she's the host of her YouTube channel, Kawaii Happy, which I subscribed to just recently. Anyway, Lucinda is a young witch who came to Dunwich a few months after Sofia became a princess. And her reason for using hexes on people is mainly because she comes from a long line of witches who also do hexes on others. But underneath her mischievous behavior, you can tell that all Lucinda wants is a friend. Also to note, Lucinda is the second person Sofia forges a strong bond with after helping them reform. The first, I think, being Amber. Anyway, after Lucinda gains a change of heart, I liked when Lucinda gave Sofia a ride on her broomstick when she unhexes all the village children and fixes up Jade's garden. And now let's move on to my final words. Overall, The Little Witch is a great episode, and I think it's a pretty good episode about a bully trying to change. Plus, I thought Sofia made a great mentor and supporting character, and I think Lucinda was a well-written new character back then. Plus, Jade, while having a mean side to her, does seem to stick out the most compared to the other children in Dunwich. Lastly, I think this episode gives a great example on how to give others a second chance. As for my rating, I'll give this episode a 93% out of 100. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me next time, where we take a magical carpet ride to Tengu. Mustang Power!